Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, Better Together. I am Sabrina.
I am Anna.
How are you today?
I'm great because when I'm with you,
we are better together.
I'm very happy.
Yes.
That was a very energetic intro.
The end of the holiday.
Oh no, depression.
We're just coming off of a
2 weeks,
2 weeks
holiday.
vacation
Yeah.
break, and back to the office we go. But talking about the office, I want to talk about a topic that many of us struggle with, and it's waiting.
Yeah.
And I've been telling you that in my prior time, like in my life right now, I feel like God has me in this office, and I am there alone, and I keep looking out through the little glass in the office at everyone getting married, their careers blowing up, they're doing all the things they've ever wanted, and I'm just looking out like, man, when is it going to be my time? And I feel like
You're in the waiting room.
I am in the waiting room. And every time I get to start complaining and get angry and impatient at God, there's a voice that reminds me like, hey, he's going to call you. You're like, your name will be called. It's just not your time. But what is it in this room that you need to learn? What are the things around here in this room that are on the wall that you need to read to make you aware of what is outside there? You know, like when you're in a room, they put up all the things in the room about what the company is about, what is happening here. What are the things,
information?
Yeah, what are the things here that you need to learn? What character do you need to develop in the waiting room? And so we're going to talk about waiting, how to embrace the season of waiting. And a lot of us, we struggle with that, especially the older we get. We struggle with waiting.
Yes.
And why is it, Anna, that you think people struggle in the waiting season or in the waiting room?
Because one of the things that you said, like you're looking out and you see the other people doing other stuff, like getting married, being successful, and all of these things, and we get this fear that we're going to miss out. Like, oh, you put it in these words that when is my name going to be called, and waiting is not easy. Being there is not easy. And even more when you're seeing other people, maybe, because it also happens to me that some people from my high school, I look at their lives, or at least at their social media, and they're doing great things, and it's like it's hard not to compare. Like, hey, we come from the same high school, we were living kind of a similar life, and now they're married, they have 2 kids, they are being successful, I don't know, they have this business going on, and what about me? When is it going to be my turn? So we feel fear of missing out, comparison,
and your self-imposed timelines.
Yes.
The timelines you impose on your life, on yourself, like it's going to happen in this time, I'm supposed to have it all figured out at 25 or 26. And when those timelines, they pass, and you realize that you actually didn't accomplish the things that you thought you should have at a certain age, that can be quite crushing. And the thing is, God doesn't work with timelines. There are no timelines.
Not ours, at least.
There is no timeline. Like our timeline and His timelines
totally
are completely different. And that is the thing. We get crushed by our timelines being shattered, and then the family pressure comes along, or pressure from society, because society also upholds some timelines. So the pressure from family, the pressure from society causes the waiting season to be challenging for a lot of us.
And makes the noise of the clock ticking louder. Like you can feel it, definitely.
I want to challenge you to think that, I want to challenge you and us to know that it will take however long it takes.
Yes.
The time that it happens in your life, that's the time. Your timeline and God's timeline
is different.
They're different. And when it happens in your life, when it happens in my life, your life, that is the right time for it to
Yeah.
happen. And I think too, we also need to be honest with ourselves. Are we ready for what we're seeking?
Yeah. What are we doing while we wait?
Yes.
I think that it's something as well that we should learn while we wait. What are we doing? And you said, like, are we ready for the things that we're asking for? Have you prepared yourself to
Yes.
get those blessings?
Yeah.
And because sometimes, like, you said an example. Can you mention about the car and God giving?
Yes. The thing is that we get caught up in the seeking and not the preparing. We get caught up in the, oh, God, I want this, I want this, I want that. But are you preparing yourself for what you're asking God for? Are you going to driving school to drive a car? Are you old enough to drive a car? For example, I said to you, God is not a cruel father. He's not going to give you a car to drive at 3 years old.
If you don't know how to
He's
drive.
not going to give you a car and say, "Hey, go on the road and drive. Here is the newest car. Here it is. Go and drive." If you don't know how to drive, if you're not old enough to drive, he's not a cruel father. And
that
so
wouldn't be a blessing,
that
even
is
if it's
not
the
a blessing.
latest car model.
It's the best car. That is not a blessing. That is murder. Like, hey, go and drive a car. You don't know how
Crash
to
yourself.
Yeah. You don't know how to drive. You're not old enough to drive. Go drive this car. It's murder. That's not kind. And so God is not a cruel father. And so we get caught up in the seeking and forget to prepare. Like, are we honest with ourselves? To say, are we ready for what we're asking for?
Another thing is that the master doesn't come until we are ready. And if we want to start a new business, we have to prepare. We need to learn that lesson, how we better research and find the ways to build a new business. Or if we want to learn something new, we have to go through that process. But we need to be ready. We need to want it. We
Don't
need
waste our waiting season.
Yeah, so, and sometimes I think people get caught up on other people's success because they just see the results and the wins, but they don't know everything that is behind that success. We have social media, and we are in this era of instant gratification, where before, if you wanted a fit body, you had to go to the gym for 1 year or 4 months, 3 months, I don't know. You had to put in the work. And now you don't need to do that. You just go to do a surgery or take a Ozempic or things like that, and then bam, next day, 1 week later, you have abs. So I think the uncomfortable feeling of being in the waiting season or in the waiting room comes from seeing the success of others and the instant gratification that we are used to right now. Like, we post a picture and
it's our highlight reel. We don't show when we're crying.
When
we're doing we're going to bed at 5 a.m. when we're canceling the parties, when we're not going out because we chose to work on businesses or things that would benefit us in the future. We don't see those aspects of the people who we're celebrating publicly. And we forget that. And another thing is that we need to determine if we're in the planting season of our lives or the reaping season. Is it the time to sow seeds? Have you sown enough seeds to reap the benefits? Like, sometimes we just want to pick flowers we didn't plant. And that is something we need to figure out. Be honest with yourself. Have I planted what I'm trying to reap? Have you invested enough in what you want to say, oh, why don't I have this? Be honest with yourself. Have you planted, And so sometimes we are in the planting season of life, and we need to appreciate that time. Hold your head down and do the work.
And sometimes it takes time. Like, for normal people, everything takes time. Sometimes we do see like a one night person that went viral.
A microwavable success.
And then we want that, but like, are we ready for that?
And the other thing too, while waiting, we have to surrender. we have to surrender to
Yes.
God. If you know you've done all that you can and you're working hard at it, surrender.
And there comes a peace from surrendering. Like, hey, when you know that you did everything under your control,
Yeah.
then you surrender, and it comes a peace that, hey, I know that I did the work, I know that I planted seeds, I pour water on
Yeah.
them, and now I'm just waiting. And sometimes it gives anxiety, like, when
Yeah.
is it coming, when is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
coming,
yeah.
when is it going to happen for me?
Yeah.
But once you surrender, and it's a cycle. I've been there sometimes. Like, hey, I'm doing everything I can. Like, when it's my blessing
Yeah.
coming, and I want it now. I want it now. But hey, once you know, like, you know what, I did what it was under my control.
Mm-hmm.
Now I surrender, and then it comes a peace that it's undescribable. Like, okay, I'm just gonna wait and surrender.
Yeah. And that is where we are at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, Anna and I were like, I'm just leaning in the peace.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just embracing the peace. I am learning how to embrace the waiting season, because in the waiting season you develop character.
Oh yeah.
You develop
Patience.
patience.
A lot.
You develop a lot of patience and character, and you learn to value the things that you have. And I think another way how to embrace the waiting season is through gratitude.
Oh yeah.
Be grateful that the situations in your life are not worse than they are, you know, because it could be worse. And be grateful for what you have, and that you even have a desire for better in your life, because some people, babe, their lives are falling apart and they have no desire to even do anything about it. The fact that you even have a desire to do something about it is the right step. Like, have you heard some people, they're just like, their life is hopeless, and they're just like embracing hopelessness. I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah. I had a question just now. It popped up in my head about the people that they haven't felt the peace. Why do you think there are some people that don't feel the peace when they are in the waiting season?
I think it's because of anxiety, and they're trying to rush things in their lives, and they have not surrendered.
Control things that are out of their hands.
Yeah, I think because whenever I have anxiety, or whenever I'm not feeling peaceful, is when I have not surrendered, when I am trying to control it, when I want it now. I want to get married now. I want our YouTube channel to blow up now.
Yeah.
And I get frustrated when things don't go the way I want them to go immediately. And that tugs at your heart, it tugs at your peace, and you have no peace in that time when you're trying to control things that is out of your control. And so I don't know if you're watching this, and if you have faith in God, or if you have no faith, I don't have any greater solution to tell you other than to believe in God and give up what you can't control to Him, because He promises to give peace that passes all understanding. And that is how I am living my life. And I literally I am so peaceful, because I'm like, God,
You take the wheel.
you take the wheel. And you told me a Spanish song, a song in Spanish about if my father owns all of this.
Na, 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 na. In Spanish it says, ¿Quién dijo miedo?
Don't get copyright.
Yeah.
You have to say it.
In English. So the song goes like, who said that I should be fearful when my father is the owner of the universe? Like, he literally owns everything. So why wouldn't a loving father want to give their sons or daughters what they are asking for? But we need to be ready to receive.
Ready.
Like, we need to have space to accept those blessings. You said something that I'm self-reflecting here a little bit, that you want, for example, like, oh, I want our YouTube channel to blow up now, and I want to get married now. And we are making these videos because we are going through these things. It's
We're
not
in the
like we
waiting
have it.
room.
Yeah, it's not like we have things figured out or that we're talking here as experts. We come up with these videos because
There are experiences.
our daily life and
Yeah.
things that we are feeling in our flesh, and so
And
hey,
we've learned how to, I think
Embrace.
we've learned how to be dependent on God. That's a big
Yeah.
thing in our lives. We've learned how to say, you know what, we can't control it. Like what you said, babe, this is our lives. We are not successful on YouTube yet. We are not married yet. We don't have the financial status that we want to have yet, but we have learned in what we have to be content
Yeah.
and also to surrender to God while working towards the things that we do want. You know
because
what?
that hasn't stopped us to keep working on ourselves.
But what keeps you going in this waiting?
Faith.
Yeah.
Faith that tomorrow is gonna be a better day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what keeps us going in the waiting season. This is our lives. You know, I think this is the most vulnerable we've been on this channel, but I do believe that, I don't know, maybe someday someone will watch this and they're struggling with waiting and it seems impossible, like nothing is going to work out for you. There is my favorite Bible verse that I go to when I am struggling with believing, like, God, did you forget about me in this waiting room? Is that Jesus said, if our earthly father knows what good gifts to give unto us, and they're wicked, like our earthly fathers are wicked, like
They're humans.
They're human and
they're not perfect.
they're not perfect. They make so many mistakes.
Yeah.
They will hurt us. Some fathers here abandon children. How much more your heavenly Father that is good and right? How much more will He give that to you if
You're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember that He will not put a 6-year-old behind the steering wheel and say go. That will be murder. So just have patience. He sees you.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me.
To ourselves.
He sees you. He sees me. We are not forgotten. And it will work out. So chin up.
And surrender and embrace the peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be okay, babe.
Oh,
And
it's going to be okay. We're putting in the work, so I'm not even like at this point. I'm not even worried.
and our dreams, they will come to life.
Yeah.
And we're going to look back at this. I think this just became a personal journal for us.
Yeah.
But one day we're going to look back at this and we're going to see all the work we put in when no one was watching our channel.
I get happy to see, like the daily numbers going up little by little, and I don't know, some people or some big YouTubers, they might get 1 million views, but I get so happy just to see, we went up a subscriber, we went up, I don't know, so I don't want to forget that. I don't want to forget the lessons that we're learning in the waiting room.
We are learning to be consistent.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not like we're getting any big reward right now. It's just consistency, developing.
Yeah.
And so we are going to look back at this few years from now and it will be a blessing. Either way, either God put us on a different path or this works out. But whatever it is, we're embracing the waiting season and we're embracing the lessons. Don't close your eyes to the lessons that you can learn while waiting. There's so many lessons. And that's a totally different video that we could get into, how we learn so much while waiting. And we just want to encourage you to have faith and find people who will also encourage you and not drag you down and tell you that it's hopeless.
So even if the waiting season is dark sometimes, this is something I've been living for. If you don't know what to focus on and if you feel a little bit lost, focus on yourself, being better, working towards yourself every day, and life will get beautiful.
Life will get better.
Yeah.
Life will get better.
Life will get better. We're going to get better together, and
this has been Better Together.
Yes.
I am Sabrina.
I am Anna.
Until next time.
Bye.